No, leave it.
Hey everybody, welcome. Picks and Parlays live halftime show for Thursday Night Football, prime time. Football's back. Gentlemen, NFL is back. Week 1, game 1. We're at halftime. How's everybody looking? How are we looking for our halftime scenarios?
Well, let's just go around the horn, say what we had first, now that the game started.
Okay.
Tim, you want to start?
Under 52.
Lenny?
So it looks good, but it's an under. So
I'm on a my biggest play is my teaser, Rams 8.5 and under 58.
All right. I have Bills -2. I got it in a little early before it went to 2.5. Feel like we left a lot of points on the board, so I'm not, and the Rams get the ball the second half. That's always like when it was 10-7 and they're driving, I'm just like, hey, we just use up the clock here. If we don't score, we punt it down, and then I would have been happy. Obviously, that interception changed the game.
Yep.
I don't know if I could change my bet. I don't think I would. I still think the Bills are the better team. They felt like they could move the ball, and it's just turnovers are always the equalizer, though. So we got to stay away from turnovers.
I will say this: the Bills look like they that first quarter, the Bills just kind of picked apart that Rams defense. They were talking about pregame about how hot that game was, or how hot it is at that stadium, and how it could affect the Bills. The Bills look like they're in week 8, and the Rams look like they're in week 1 of preseason. So it looked like there was some, I don't want to say conditioning, but they just looked, one team was super hyped up. The Buffalo Bills came out and smacked the Rams in the face. The Rams kick a almost 60-yard field goal. Yes, and don't forget, Caesars Sportsbook sponsoring all of our shows here on Picks and Parlays, and especially this one. What you will get when you sign up, links in the description of the video. All you got to do is click it, take you right to it. Wager up to $1,250 on your first bet. If you don't win, you'll get 100% of your stake back as a free bet. And win or lose, this is the best part about this promo, in my opinion, because I use Caesars every day. You'll get 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credits, regardless, win or lose, when you sign up. That's huge. That's those free hotels, free rooms, free meals, all that good stuff. So check that out. Use the promo code PIXFUL.
All kinds of stuff. And
you do. You really do.
The bet. I mean, if you get 12, it's basically no risk. You go ahead and deposit $1,250. You bet the $1,250 on what you have to do it on your first wager. You can't do it in a number of wagers. It has to be the first wager. So you bet the $1,250 on whatever you like the most. If it wins, you got an extra $1,250 basically. If it loses, you have your $1,250 back. And that $1,250 in free bets, you can actually bet it in individual games. So it's not like you have to bet that other $1,250 in the next bet. You can bet it just like real cash.
You can go from betting at $1,250 on the first game to back it down to $100 a game, $50, whatever you do. Bankroll your own management, or manage your own bankroll.
Support our sponsors, though. That's important because that's what pays all of our bills, and
that's what keeps the lights on around here. And you see these lights above my head, and there's a cool room behind me. And
can someone give us the halftime odds?
odds. I got to pick them. I got Bills -125, and I got actually hold on.
So it's probably Bills -1 then, or -1.5 or something then. It was -120.
It's Bills -1.
-1 for Bills, and the total at 46.
Yep.
So the total is down. The total is down from where So if you like the over at 50, I'll tell you what. I'm not saying that it's an impossible. I think I would want the over in the second half. I think it's going to hit right around that 50 number. I really do. I feel like these both teams kick field goals. If they both get touchdowns, we would be looking at about 48 plus. I really feel like the second half in opening week is where most of the points come from. So I think I would lean towards the over in the second half at that 46. You said
46.
46 even.
Well, I would definitely not take an under at this point because you missed six points of value there. So the only way to play the total is the over, but I'm not going to do that because I already have the under. So I'm not going to try to middle myself. I don't think 6 points is enough.
Plus, after watching the first half, don't you think there's a potential of an overtime game? Like they're both on even numbers. So that's the worst. You're 24, 20, 23, 23.
Well, I'm just waiting for somebody to kick a field goal, somebody to score a touchdown, and then all of a sudden you get that. No longer have to worry about overtime for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
White Sox already.
See, somebody said.
Any opinion on team totals?
For me, but
I got a team total of 23.5.
Oh no! Oh no!
What happened?
I had the Phillies. I thought the Phillies scored, but the Marlins scored.
No, Marlins. Marlins are all over them right now.
5-4 going into the ninth inning, and you give up 2 runs, and there's still 2 guys on base. That's not
welcome to the Philly bullpen.
It's been I have lost this run the last week. I have lost 3 games in extra innings. I lost that LSU game. I had the over in the LSU game. If they make that,
we had the under.
It goes over. So it's like one of you go through these streaks as a handicapper, as a bettor, where it's like every break you lose, every extra inning game you lose,
everything goes wrong.
I'm in the middle of that right now. So if you're on the Rams, you're probably pretty good tonight because I'm on the Bills and
I'm just on the under.
I do like the Rams, but I do like I also bet
today, though. I really went. I gave it out in the video, and then I even went bigger after the video. Cooper Kupp over receptions and Cooper Kupp over yards, and he's almost got it at the halftime.
He's almost already got it. I have the Rams. I prop bet the Rams from margin of winning from 1 to 6 at plus 325, and I mean just a little sprinkle, so that makes me feel real good at 10 to 10 at halftime right now. That gives me a little hope. But I kind of, as far as team totals go, I know Brian asked, at this point, I like unders, but if whoever you like to win the game, the Rams at 22.5, the Bills are at 23.5. It's two more touchdowns. And in my opinion, by either team, I'm not afraid of either one of them over, to be honest with you, in the second half. But tread lightly.
But I would say the team that gets the ball. What's the Rams?
Rams get the ball.
Rams get the ball first.
No, but I mean, what was their total?
The Rams are at 22.5, and the Bills are at 23.5.
You gotta like it if you're the Rams because, they get the ball, so they're basically at least they're going to get equal possessions. They could get an extra possession.
No real value there at minus 135. I see. No, in my opinion, I'm not taking an in game at minus 135. Even the Bills is at plus even money.
Although in game, you have to assume, if you're betting in game, you have a better there's a reason why they take a bigger house edge. They usually take an extra, instead of minus 110 basis, usually it's minus 115. And the reason is, you've seen this matchup, you see how they're playing each other, and you really, if you're a handicapper, you should be able to win more bets at during the game or at halftime than you would before the game, and you don't really know how things are gonna, especially week 1. I mean, week 1 is extremely tough. One of our ex employees, Chelsea Messenger, that does her own show now, but very good, kind of astute handicapper, and I've taught her well, and she's really kind of ran with it. She was saying divisional. This is unbelievable. Week 1, the last 10 years, divisional underdogs. 76% against the spread.
That makes me feel great because one of the picks that we have for Circa is the Saints.
There's a bunch this week. The Patriots are underdog at the.
I like that.
I'm trying to think.
I like the Raiders.
The Steelers.
I like the Steelers.
I think
I'm not high on the Steelers. I'm not.
I like the under in that game a lot. I think.
Let's be honest. The game of the week is Philly at Detroit, and it's the Lions money line for plus points. You can thank me later.
Remember, weird stuff happens. Remember, Bills lost I think it was at home to the Steelers last year, week 1, and then they went on that amazing run. So week 1, some crazy things happen. Just.
Dog of the week.
If your team loses week 1, I'm just saying, don't go jump off the bridge.
Yeah, listen. There's so much more football. Overreaction. Don't overreact. It's week 1. I mean, this is the first half of a whole season. So let's not get carried away. And that's what kind of my reasoning behind the Rams is, not just because I'm a Matt Stafford fan, obviously, but there was so much hype on Buffalo. It just seemed like a month ago everybody was prepared to hand Buffalo the Lombardi Trophy, and I'm like, hey, let's just pump the brakes. We still got to play 17, 18 weeks of football here plus playoffs. Like, let's.
But
not
I think
get
that's a
carried
lot
away,
of Buffalo.
you know?
But that's like the last thing you remember from the year before, like kind of people. And the last time they saw this Buffalo team, remember that they basically gave it away like they scored all those points. So people are thinking, oh, they went out and got Von Miller. They went out and improved their defense. And they're 1 year better, Josh Allen 1 year more. Like, so I get it. I mean, it makes sense. They're a great team. I mean, if they stay healthy, they're going to be a very tough team in a pretty good division, I think. So, like, it's going to be.
I think the AFC East is going to be an awful division.
Really?
I think the Buffalo Bills will be the only team over 500.
I don't think so. I think the Patriots and the Dolphins will both be in that 8-9 win. You know what I mean?
They'll both finish like 8-9 or 7-10, and the Buffalo Bills will finish like 13-3 or 13-4.
Yeah, that's
and
probably
then
right.
the Jets will win like 6 or 7 as well.
But that's a tough division because that means these teams have to play each other, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you beat up on each other. And New England won at Buffalo last year. Remember the wind game where in the wind and rain?
Where they ran the ball every single play.
Yeah. Both teams ran the ball like pretty much every time.
Yeah,
so
I'm not taking that for anything.
I'm just saying.
So
if you're in Buffalo, that's the kind of weather you get every once in a while. Like it's rainy and windy and cold late in November, December.
What did you have for Cooper Kupp receptions? 7.5 or 8.5? Because he's got 8 right now.
Yeah, that one already hit the yardage. Yeah. How many do you have right now?
He's got 8 for 56 yards and a touchdown.
It's 78.5 or 87.5. I forget which. It's 87 or 70. I think it's 87.
What the hell happened to Cam Akers? Like, is he irrelevant now? Like, what's going? He's got 2 touches. Period.
Well,
for 0 yards.
That's the way things go now. Like running backs, it's running back by committee. You know, they have a bunch of guys. They're going to give it to a bunch of guys. I think he'll get the ball more in the second half. And they didn't have the ball a ton. The Bills seemed like they were, to me at least, they seemed like they had the ball the whole first half. I don't know how they only scored 10 points. It's like
they should be up by 2 touchdowns, in my opinion.
At least they should be winning.
But Josh Allen went 11 for 11 right out of the gate, and then he was 11, and then he was 12 of 13 12 of 12, but with a pick. His first incomplete pass, if you will, it wasn't even incomplete. It was just the wrong receiver. But Josh Allen he's 17 for 20, 150 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks.
Yeah, those 2 picks is what, like I said,
that makes a difference.
Special teams and winning the turnover battle. Almost always, if you win those 2 things, you win the game in the NFL. You got to win special teams. You can't afford to give it away in the special teams, and you cannot afford to turn the ball over, especially on the road, especially as a road favorite. So I could see where people, if you're betting a half, maybe are like, okay, the Rams took their best shot, but I think I can't imagine Josh Allen throwing 2 more picks this half. I think
absolutely not.
No, but I think Sean McVay, if you're looking at Sean McVay and his record in the first half or first games of the year, like how do you not take the Rams are tied 10-10 at halftime. That's their best case scenario after that first half. And they just got the ball
in the second half.
Yep. So
tell me when the second half just started, right?
They just kicked off,
and he went nowhere. 10-yard line,
0 yards.
All right, so wrapping it up, I'm going to stay with the Bills. I'm going to take them on the money line in the second half. That's what I rebet it at half, but I said a -2. I took it on the money line just in case weird shit happens. Missed extra points, stuff like that. Crazy first week. Tim, did you rebet at half, or did you just stay?
No, I'm just riding out my 52. There's no reason for me to go anywhere else.
It's not a whole lot of value then.
Yeah, no. I just sprinkled the Rams money line at +110, just straight money line. So just because I'm a degenerate and I gotta have something going on at halftime.
That's what you got them before the game, right? What did you get before the game?
No, before the game I got them +130, I think, and straight up on the money line. Yeah, so I'll take them again. I like the bet. I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna keep doubling down. I'm either gonna be I'm either gonna, same thing as always. I'm either going to look like a genius or not. You know.
Well, even if you win, we don't know if you're a genius. But don't forget, bet it with Caesars, our friends from Caesars. Click the link to sign up. Get that risk-free. Use the promo code PIXFUL or just use the link and get in on it. So we'll be back on Sunday Night Football. We'll probably have a different cast of characters. Lenny might join in. Who knows who will be Sunday or Monday? But we'll try to do.
Depends on how the Lions game goes earlier in the day. If I'm
we might want him on if he
on
loses,
screen worthy. Let me just say.
How many drinks Lenny has beforehand is if he's allowed to show up on the show or not.
I'll need a nap before that.
All right, guys. Have a great one. You guys be good. Hope all your bets are winning.
All right, take care, guys. Good luck.
Good luck,
unless
guys.
you're against us.